Hey everyone, what's up? Welcome back to another YouTube live. And also thank you guys so much for subscribing. I went from 121 to 133 in just a few days. So thank you guys so much for like doing that. That's well appreciated very much. And yes, I have actually some writing on here and I'll just um do some of this and then I'll go to some extra ones if I want to. My hand was getting kind of tired, so I thought I would just do part of it. So today's live stream is on how to make your life not so stressful and how to make adult life successful. Now, this is going to be a complex discussion, and it's going to be kind of like, how is this even possible? Because adult life is not just to have fun; it's a lot of priorities, and it's really important just to understand this. I have my composition book right here. I decided to just go in with it. So I might just look like this, just looking at this when I'm doing it. So we'll be talking about a lot of things. So let's get started. But before that, I would like everyone to subscribe, like, and hit the bell icon for bell notifications to stay tuned for like more awesome videos like this one. So let's get started. So, um, the things that you need to know, to not make your life so stressful is to let go of the past and develop a present mindset. And I learned a lot about this in my with my speech therapist and with some of my other teachers that helped me with this too. And be grateful for what you have. It doesn't matter like if you have zero money or if you have like a ton of money. Be grateful for what you have and what people have provided you with. So be grateful for what you have. And surround yourself with happy and positive people. That'll make your life a lot easier when you do that. And schedule your priorities. If you want to get better at managing everyday stress, the 6 things that I would recommend you do is balance work and play, plan your day, stick to your plan, ask for help when you need it, which a lot of people need that. Like, if they don't understand something, they could always come to someone and say, I do need a lot of help on like this. I really need your help. But most people are willing to help. And get enough sleep and eat good food. Okay. So, and what is adulting? Well, cooking, paying bills, managing finances, which is, kind of like money, bills, keeping up with laundry, resolving conflicts. Conflicts are things that sometimes don't always work out. Like, you kind of have one plan in place, but then it gets messed up and, conflicts are never fun. These skills are necessary for independence. And I actually have an adulting class at the library that they talk about a lot of this stuff. So there is more here. So let's get going. So now let's talk about 6 keys to success. Now I didn't write all 6, but here's the most of them anyways. I got to about 4. So in your adult life, the first of the 6 keys to success is time. Now time can be kind of hard to manage, but time is an interesting resource. You either have enough or you don't. You can plan to have extra time, but you can't bank on it and use it later. In our current world, time is like unlimited. We can't create it nor destroy it. It is there and constant. So why is time so important? Well, time gives you options. When time is limited, so are your options. When time is a shortage, you are more stressed. You need to complete the task. By not being on time or completing the task, you can be disappointed. Like when I was in high school, I had a lot of tasks I had to do. And sometimes I was like, "Oh, I don't want to do all this. This is way too much for me." And you know how my voice just did this, and how I was, saying all that. Well, that's how I felt sometimes when I had so much I had to do in one day. It felt like 1,000 things I had to do, but it was really truly only 10 things for some of the things that I had to do in my classes for my to-do list. You cannot always be that way with wanting to get things done. I know. A lot of people are so stressed out when they have so much they have to do, but they don't always make a to-do list. And so, like, you can get this much done today and then just leave it at that. And then the next day you can start where you left off at. So you kind of have to cut it down in different parts. And so you're not always all stressed out about everything and then end up being not up to doing it at all. So it's good to make a to-do list so you can really know exactly like how much you need to get done in one day, and then you can break it down in different parts. Okay? This leads to anxiety and stress too, when you're dealing with this kind of stuff. Okay, page 4 I have in my composition book. The second of the 6 keys to success is money. Money is really important, and it can become a bad habit on spending it too, which I've kind of gotten into that, and I need to calm it down. And so many people measure success by how much money one has or what an individual has. One's net worth, which I learned about this in consumer math. Net worth is a computation of money and valued possessions that can generate money. However, money alone is not a true measure of success. It's only an indicator. Money, like time, gives you options. When you have money, you can choose how much you spend. Oh, thank you for the like. Thank you so much, Nelson Raphael. Thank you, or Raphael, whatever. And if you have enough, you could buy a house, plane ticket, or car. Or you can just put your money in savings, That's kind of the thing, because like sometimes you might have all this money and you're like, oh, I could go to like the Bahamas or Jamaica or wherever you want to go on vacation. But another thing that you could do is to put part of your money in a savings account, and part of it you can use on the trip. You do not have to use all of your money for the trip. Like cutting it in half basically. So yeah. So page 5 in my composition book is the third of the 6 keys to success is context. Context is always key in one's understanding. If you don't understand something, that's okay. You can always ask for help, Your environment's circumstances, you won't be able to navigate yourself to successful results. So the number thing is always ask for help if you are stuck on something. No matter what. No matter what you're on. Like, it might be a really hard class. It could be an essay. It could be really anything. So, yeah. Um, page 6. Now this is kind of where I left off at with my writing, but yeah, so this is kind of going to be like the end of this. But I will get to the last of this. Adaptability is the fourth of the keys of the 6 keys. Okay? Adaptability. Anything rarely goes according to plan. Like, for example, like, say if you had like a big event you had to go to in, say, Denver, Colorado at 6 p.m. But then you were about halfway there. Like, you drove and you were like halfway there. Then all of a sudden an emergency, like a family emergency comes. And then you have to turn around and go back. You know? Things don't always go to plan. That's kind of an example of what I'm talking about. You know? And, you know, I'm probably gonna run into the same problem when I'm older, you know, when I'm 23, for an example, you know, because that's kind of when my life is going to change completely. And it's not going to be in the life it is right now. It's going to be a lot more complicated. But still, you know, I'm going to run into the same exact problems even then. So anybody can have this happen to themselves. And having a backup plan builds confidence, you know, because if you have a backup plan, then you're like, oh, okay, yeah, I have this set, okay, I am good, you know, so you feel more confident about it, and so you're not all stressed out, like, oh no, what's gonna happen to me now, you know what I mean. So it's good to have a backup plan, so you know exactly what you need to do and how you need to do it, what and how, you know. But also the 5 W's could also be something in your life that you could deal with, like the what, where, when, how. You know, the 5 W's are actually a perfect example of different ways of dealing with life. Like, how am I going to do this? Where do I need to be? What do I need to do? When? You know, yeah. You know what I'm trying to say here, yeah. So, yeah, that's a perfect example of what I'm talking about. And, you know, if there's no backup plan, then you get all stressed out and you're like, oh no, what am I going to do? How is this even going to work? You know, then you feel all stressed out that way too. So, you now have to create one. Stressful levels are increasing with every passing second of inaction. You know, and sometimes so hard to realize that sometimes life can be a struggle, and sometimes your abilities to plan stuff out can be quite a stress, you know? And when I was in consumer math class, I learned a lot about net worth, you know, and about, you know, bills and how to coordinate your life and everything like that. And you know, I was just gonna share the 2 others that because my hand was getting too tired, so I thought, oh gosh, you know. So okay. Oh goodness, my brain. Okay. So friendship is the focus of the 5th of the 6 keys to success. And you know, there's a saying, a friend will help you move, a good friend will help you move a body. Having friends is good. Maintaining those friendships is even better. Like, I've gone through so many friendships, and some of them didn't always work out, and some of them really, really did. Like, you know, I have a person in my life that I've known for like 3 years, and our friendship has really grown, and you know what? That is a success in life. Success is the key word. And maintaining those friendships is even better, like I said. And as with the saying, having friendships is like having an extended group of advisors, you know? They can always help with manual labor if necessary. The key to friends is that you can turn to them when in need. Like, friends can always help you. Friends are always there to help you, no matter how hard something may be. Friends are there to help you, and the key word is support. Is support. Okay? They will help you out unconditionally. You know, like, say if you're sick, a friend will always help you out, unless if they have unless if they're not able to, which is, you know, okay, but it's always best to have a friend help you, no matter if you're sick, if you're, you know, if something bad has happened that you really really need help, you know. um for this section, I refer to true friends and not the one-sided ones, like, you know. And it's better to have good friends instead of, like, you know, the friends, you know. Like, I've had friends in my life that weren't really friends. They ended pretty badly. Like, they started out being, you know, okay, and then they tried to, you know, get me into things that were not right, like smoking and drinking and, you know, all those things in life that has peer pressure. Um and you know, and true friends will try to pick you up when you are feeling down. They can also help you get through a rough time. Losing a job or a long-term relationship will cripple your ego. A good friend will be there to help you pick up the pieces and move on. You know? And all relationships require a level of maintenance. Some friendship bonds are so close that when you meet up after an extended time away, it'll feel like not a day has passed by. You've probably heard that saying before. Many friendships are easily maintained with a simple phone call, you know? Because, like, you know, you could just call someone up saying that you need help, and they'll be there for you. And sometimes they won't always be there for you. Like I'm here and my friend's there, you know? So it's kind of hard to come like each and every day just to do that. But you can do that, as you know, like, but when you get the chance to see the person, then you can see them, and then you can update them about what's going on, and so they can help you. Um you know, and another reason why friends are so important is that they will give you an unfiltered opinion. If you have a business idea, your friends will be the first people to pitch the concept to. Their feedback is important as you start the process of refinement. Your friends are also a great network to help you out when you are looking to make a career change, you know. Um, and they may know someone who can use your services. They may also think of you when a job opportunity arises and they think that you are the best suited for. And you know what? That is amazing. And all these job applications that I have, there's like all these references. And there's, you know, different people that I know that can say, "Oh yeah, she's been a good worker. She knows, you know, how to do things. She's very organized." You know, like, oh, excuse me. Like, I've done like VBS, I've done volunteer work, you know, I've done a lot of things that a lot of my people that I know would say and give a review like, yeah, she's a really good worker, which I am. And I'm very motivated when it comes to doing a lot of really good things in my own life. And um you know, and you know what? I mean, that's always good to have a good plan to um be organized, because if you're not organized, then you get all stressed out, and there's all sorts of anxiety feelings that you get, which nobody likes. So it's always good to have the plan set out before you. Okay? Now, the sixth key to success is very important. Very important. To those of you that need to know what this is. Know when it's appropriate to say no, which can be really hard, Like, I might look at something and say, oh, yes, but really? I need to say no. There's a lot of things in life that you might be so tempted to say yes to, but you need to say no. And oh, knowing when it's okay to stop is the sixth and the most final key to success growing up. Growing up can be so hard. I mean, even like I'm almost 20 years old and I still have problems saying no. So, like, because sometimes, saying no can be very hard. And I remember back when I was like 15, I was in this stage of life where, I was in this teenage life, where I was wanting to do everything and wanting to say yes to everything. But I've been taught, like, say if someone offered me, like something to smoke on, which I've gotten that thing too much, and also to drink or anything like that. The smart thing to do is to say no, because none of that is healthy for you. And, you have to have your own safety. And you need to understand that those kind of things are never good for your health. They are very bad for you. And notifications, Hannah. Okay. And they can mess up your life a lot. There's a lot of drunk drivers out on the road, and you never want to be near one of those, because if you get hit by a drunk driver, then you're most likely to be dead. So, you know what? Do not listen to all those negative people. Listen to the people that tell you to say no. And to know that when someone says no, it's a no, a flat out no. You need to listen to good friends. You cannot listen to negative friends, because if you listen to negative friends, then you're just gonna be, in a negative life. But if you listen to positive people, then you'll have a more positive outlook on life. If you get what I'm saying. Gosh, more notifications. I'm gonna put on do not disturb. And in some cases, you are not ready to say yes to an opportunity because you have not mastered effective time management, which I learned time management in my class when I was in high school. In a workplace, it could also mean that your time is not functioning at a level that would permit you to take I'm trying to think, additional work. Yeah. So yeah, so it's oh, hi Serenity. Hi. Yeah, so it's so hard to say no. I gotta tell you, there's a lot of things in life that you might think, oh yeah, I really want to do this, but then, like, a friend of yours says, no, do not do it. It's not right. It's not acceptable. Then you have to listen to your friend. You can't just ignore them and do whatever you want. Oh, hi Serenity. Yeah, how are you? I am doing good. How about you? And if I know you probably missed part of the video because you just got here, but the title of this the title of this video is how to make your life not so stressful and how to make adult life successful. And I've talked a lot about the different keys to success. And so yeah, and And sometimes life can be really challenging, especially when you get to adulthood, because it's going to get much harder. And some of the polite ways of saying no when someone wants to do something that you cannot do because it's not the right thing to do. You can just say, like, I'm uninterested, or I'm busy that day, or I'm honored you asked, but I simply can't. I'm sorry, I'm not able to fit this in, or I'd love to, but other commitments need my attention, or like it does not, or will not work for me to do it, or I can't, but here's another option for you. So those are like some good ways to say no, like in a more polite way, because if you do that, then the other person is like, oh yeah, okay, well, whatever, instead of making a big fuss about it and causing more issues than there has to be. And and here's some tips for saying no. Like, know your commitments and how valuable your time is. Know your priorities, like what I was saying in some of the stuff that I was talking about. And practice before saying no. Don't apologize. Stop being nice. Preempt the requests. Take time to say no. Quote, quote, no. Be prepared and practice using these expressions, because if you have those in tips in hand, you'll be ready to just say no to somebody when they do want you to do something that you really cannot do. And sometimes how can it be strong to say no? Like, you have to express gratitude for being asked. Seek advice from others. The people that actually know good advice, instead of other people saying, oh yeah, this is the good advice, this is how you do it, blah blah blah. Those are the people that you cannot listen to, because there's a lot of advice out there that's not very good. There's a lot of things out in the world that some people may think is good, but then when someone tries it and they're like, and it turns out to be not so good. You need to listen to the people that actually know what they're talking about. And and you have to take your time to make an informed decision. And don't beat around the bush. I've heard that saying, yeah, it's okay. Yeah, it's kind of, well, the light is on, but anyways. And the saying is, don't beat around the bush. Get to the point. I've heard that a lot. Like, when somebody asks you a question and they want to know what the solution is, you cannot just beat around the bush. You really need to get to the point that you're trying to say, because if you avoid, which is another word, because if you avoid something, then you're basically not listening to what the other person is saying. And and yeah, and beating around the bush can also be an avoidance to answer a question, stall, or waste time. That's kind of happened to me a few times in my life, which no one's perfect, but you still need to answer the questions that are being asked of you. You can't just be rude and not answer the question or avoid it, You need to answer it. And, avoiding it is just another way of being rude. And, if you want to ask me, just ask. Don't beat around the bush. That's what some people say too. My mom's even told me that. To be honest, there's a lot of parents out there that say, if you want to ask me, just ask. Don't beat around the bush. it's not like a physical thing, like putting a shovel and beating on the bush. It's an idiom. It means you need to answer the question, and you need to answer the question. You can't just do all that. And and a lot of people are like, how do I stop beating around the bush? Process your feelings first, and also think before you speak. I've had to practice that a lot. Because if you just blunt out words, then you're not really knowing what you're talking about. Because if you think things through and you know what to say, then you can speak. And don't leave money on the table. Ask for feedback. Don't just give it. Don't be too hard on yourself. And, because if you're too hard on yourself, then you're not really going to get anywhere. Because if you're too hard on yourself, then you're putting too much pressure. And yeah, exactly, yeah. And how to not be hard on yourself is an easy thing to do is use positive self-talk and use some motivational quotes to help you too. That's what I have on my phone. Like when I'm feeling stressed out or if I'm being too hard on myself, I have motivational quotes to help me. And you have to challenge your beliefs and make time for yourself. If you're feeling stressed out, read a book. Or write some positive things that you want for your day. Write a to-do list about what you want to get done that day, and also put some positive things you want on that day so you can have a positive day and have a conclusion. And something else, and set realistic expectations. Examine what you expect from yourself and ask yourself if they are reasonable. And always challenge negative thoughts. Ask yourself if something is really true, or if you're being too hard on yourself. You can also ask yourself where the negative thought came from and if there's any truth to it. And sometimes my mom asks me, what's wrong? Why are you feeling this way? What is it coming from? There's a lot of questions like that my mom asks, and I'd say to her, this because of this, and I feel this way because, and this behavior came from, and so I can understand a lot of that because I had a lot of that kind of stuff when I was younger, and I still do, even now, but I'm trying to have a better outlook on life and trying to organize myself, trying to get everything else figured out. And focus on positives, and take a time out in a day and focus on the things you like about yourself and the things you've done well. If you do that, then you'll focus on positivity. And stop comparing others, which, well, to be honest, I had that same problem when I was younger too. And comparing yourself to others can make you feel bad about yourself and crush your self-esteem. And, crushing is never good. Like when it's like having a full heart, but then you break it, It's also breaking a piece of glass. You cannot put it back together as it was before, So just crushing your self-esteem like that is not good. I'll say that for sure. a negative thought distort your reality, and there's nothing to be gained from criticizing yourself over and over again. Because criticizing yourself just puts, your self-esteem low. And and to stop being hard on yourself, you could waiting calmly. A simple way to deal with an unwanted thing like that is to wait for it to go away. Meditation is really, really excellent because it can help you to get rid of all these negative thoughts in your head and turn them into positive things. Having a warm bath can really help. When you're feeling stressed out, the warm water can calm you down. Or, say if it's like a summer day, you could always lay in the warm grass and just go, take a few deep, box breaths. I learned that with one of my teachers, like box breath. Like you breathe in and then you count to 5. So kind of like this. That's excellent. When you're feeling stressed out. Box breaths are the best thing to do. And sometimes that's probably the best thing to do when you're feeling stressed out. Or you could dance, that's, but if you want to calm down, the best thing is to do is just sit down, read a book, do box breaths, do meditation, do anything you need to do to calm yourself down. Because when you're dancing, you're just getting your energy up, and then, sometimes hard to stop. And so the best thing to do is just sit down and have meditation. So yeah, so that's basically my whole live stream. So if you guys like it, make sure to subscribe, make sure to hit the bell, and like this live stream. And thank you guys so much for 133 subscribers. That is amazing. So thank you guys so much. And be sure to subscribe some more so I can see some awesome resolutions of subscribers. Because I'm going to be amazed if it does raise, and I really want it to raise. So I am thinking by let's see. I'm trying to set a goal for myself. So right now. Okay, so it's February 23rd today. So I'm thinking March, April, May, June, July, August. How about we try to get to at least 500 subscribers by October of this year. So I'm thinking, since I'm already at 133, I'm thinking if we raised it to like 500 subscribers by October. So let's set that as a goal. Everyone subscribe, and we'll start at that mark, and then we'll see how it goes from there, okay? So I will see you guys later, and bye-bye.